MMA Freak Welcome to MMA Freak.
Johnny Bones Jones is one of the greatest fighters in MMA. He is the greatest light heavyweight of all time and has set multiple records. However, with his return coming on July 29th at UFC 214 in Anaheim, the UFC probably wants you to forget that there are more than a few bones in Jon Bones Jones' closet. I'm Matthew from MMA Freak, and today we're going over the top 10 things the UFC wants you to forget about Jon Jones. Number 10, he used to be sponsored by Nike. The reason why the UFC wants you to forget this is because of the Reebok deal, of course, and the fact that he eventually lost it because of various factors, which we will get into later. Number 9, his first crash. On May 19, 2012, Jon Jones crashed a $100 car in a DUI. He eventually pled guilty to it, but it was not one of the better highlights of his record. Number 8, the DQ loss to Matt Hamill. Now, Jon lost, and that is to Matt Hamill. The reason why he lost is because of DQs. The reason why? He was doing 12-6 elbow drops. Now, in MMA, in the unified rules, 12-6 elbows are illegal because supposedly they can cause more damage. However, regardless of the complaints that people may make towards it, it doesn't change. Number 7, the eye poking. Jon Jones has been caught poking eyes multiple times with Glover Teixeira, Alexander Gustafsson, Shogun Rua, Yota Machida, and many others. The reasoning is unknown. However, what is known is that with the new unified rule stating that you need to have your hand out in a fist, it's unlikely we'll be seeing this strategy from Jones anytime soon. Number 6, the homophobic slurs. Now, Jon Jones, out in April of 2014, posted a homophobic slur on Instagram. While he never faced any repercussions, it sure doesn't look good when it comes to appealing to the gay community. Number 5 is testing positive for banned substances. On July 8, 2016, last year in fact, Jon Jones tested positive for several banned substances by USADA. Jones claimed that this came as a result of Cialis, and it was later found out that said substances did indeed have contaminations, and while suspension was upheld, let's just say it looks a little embarrassing that he was getting drugstore Viagra. Number 4, the brawl with Daniel Cormier. Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier were supposed to fight each other at UFC 178. However, on August 4th, 2014, the two had a brawl at the press conference at the MGM. The fight was ultimately delayed until January 2015 for various reasons. Not only was it embarrassing because the two men lost their tempers, but then afterwards there was interview footage of Jon Jones talking trash to Daniel Cormier. Number 3, he's the reason that UFC 151 got canceled. Now, technically in the event chronology, UFC 151 didn't happen. It was scheduled in September of 2012, and Jon Jones was supposed to be defending against Dan Henderson. However, Dan Henderson got injured, and with 2 weeks left, Chael Sonnen volunteered to step in. Jones refused to defend the title. Instead, he ended up fighting a month later at UFC 152 against Vitor Belfort. This has been described as one of the most selfless acts by Dana White, and this certainly doesn't help Jon Jones' image. Number 2, the cocaine drug test. Now, in December of 2014, before UFC 182, Jon Jones tested positive for cocaine in a USADA drug test. However, because it was an out-of-competition test, Jones did not face charges and went on to successfully defend his title against Daniel Cormier at UFC 182. And number 1, the hit and run. On April 27th of 2015, Jon Jones hit a woman with a rented car and then proceeded to flee the scene. Not only was his name on the rental agreement, but also there were drugs found in the car. Jones eventually turned himself in, pled guilty, and was able to avoid jail time with probation. However, in the meantime, Jones was stripped of the title and has been going on an up and down since then, which included getting stripped of the interim title when he lost with the previously mentioned failed drug test. And that's our list. Got any ideas? Let us know in the comments section below. I'm Matthew from MMA Freak. I'll see you next time.